Whiskey fam, sit down, grab a dram, and listen to the soothing sounds of your boy Whiskey One talk a little whiskey with you. Today we have some American Single Malt in the house, and I always get excited, so stick around. Yes, sirs. Yes, ladies. We have some Westland Single Malt. This is cask 4443. I hope I got all those numbers right. This was specially hand selected by the Cuban Cigar Company. And I got it because a buddy of mine recently had to stop drinking whiskey. And he showed up to my house unannounced. I was taking my son to the emergency room and I saw someone at our front door, and he just brought box after box after box of whiskey. And one of those boxes happened to be a whole batch of different distillery exclusives from Westland. And I thought, oh my God. I mean, I thought Westland's good. I like their peated stuff, but I never got into their exclusive or their distillery only stuff. And I thought, okay, there's probably gonna be some magic that happens, hopefully. And sure enough, I started getting into them. So far, only have done like 3 or 4 different ones, and they've been all fantastic. So when I saw this pop up on their Facebook feed, I thought, okay, I better give it a try, especially because they're kind of marketing it as this cigar, not a cigar batch, but like this cigar friendly or cigar pairing type of whiskey. And I thought, I've been getting into cigars lately. I sit down with friends and it always ends up happening. We end up getting a little whiskey and cigars together. So I thought I better get this one. And by looks of it, I think I have the right bottle. I'll tell you this. It's super dark. It's luscious. It looks sexy. I've already done some tasting notes on it. I posted it on our socials. So if you can, check us out at Whiskey One channel. You can also go to our website. I prefer you went to the website at whiskeyonechannel.com, where you'll see all of our newer stuff, and you really get a little bit of everything. So if you want some merch, you want to support us, that'd be a great place to go to do so. But back to this. This is bottled at cask strength, 52.9% ABV. It's aged at 9 years, and it's finished in a Oloroso hogshead cask. And essentially those hogsheads are like these really, they're like 2 to 3 times bigger than the normal barrel that you're used to looking at, those 55 gallons that everybody sees in bourbon barrels, but they're massive. And really, they're used for aging wine. And like I said, this was finished in that, and this only yielded about 298 bottles. But I did check online. These are still available. They have not sold out. So if you're interested after watching my video and getting your own bottle, they also have a 10% off when I visited the website just now. So there's a little discount for you. Yeah, I'm promoting Westland. Why not? They're not paying me for this. This was not sent to me, so I'm not doing it because they asked me to. But I wanted to do this video because, one, I have not done an American single malt in some time. And like I said, because I've been getting a little bit more into cigars, I feel like now that it's warming up, this is like the best time to get the best bottle for that type of stuff. So let's get into it, shall we? While I pour, I do want to send a quick thank you to my Patreons, supporters, those that have been with me for a while now. I realize I have not put out as much content as I was anticipating doing this year, but I do want to sincerely thank you for doing so. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. If you like the video, do all the things that all the other tubers ask you to do. So let's get into this. This, again, is aged at 9 years, and oh boy, from my memory, this was a fruit bomb. This just jumped out at you. As a matter of fact, I can smell right now, and the taste buds are salivating. All the things are happening on the palate. So let's dive right into this, but let's start with the legs, because I did mention the color is seductive. This thing's dark, and I do like them dark. This is, crimson, like bloody red, like a mix between bloody red and brown. Super dark. This almost looks like liquid licorice, or if you've ever poured Jägermeister. That's what this reminds me of. Maybe not quite as black. I might be pushing that one just a little bit, but it's so dark that it borders on being black. Really dark. And oh boy, the aromas are jumping out at the glass. I'm drinking from a Norland glass because I wanted you guys to be able to see that on camera. We'll do a close-up, of course. Man, I couldn't wait to get to the nose. I'm a sucker for Belgian chocolates. I love Belgian chocolates. They remind me a lot of like chocolate truffles, and this is exactly what this smells like. A huge like array of Belgian chocolates, but it's way fruity. A lot of raisin on this, a lot of blackberries, raspberries, and just think all those different berries being muddled and stewed on a pot. And that's exactly what you get here. Let me see. Have you ever had like cheesecake? There's a nice creaminess to it, but that parfait, you know, that array of different flavors going on, whereas there's creaminess, there's a fruit medley going on, and of course, you know, you usually get some sort of vanilla or creaminess to it. And that's what initially happens on the nose. Is just, it reminds you of having a dessert. It's super fruity, but it's also not just like chocolatey, but it feels like an old man's whiskey. It's leathery, pipe tobacco jumps out at you, but it's all the things, man. And like, honestly, when I think of smoking a cigar, this is exactly the type of whiskey that I want to be sipping on. Again, I'm not trying to market for these guys. When I say that this is the right whiskey for that, I genuinely mean it. And you guys that know me personally know that I don't just say this stuff. But what I like is that there's just a beautiful balance, just even on the nose, of all these different things that just captivate you and get your attention before you even start sipping. So let's get to the sipping. Cheers. Now, yeah, I remember when I first opened this bottle, it hadn't had time to breathe. And it has had time to breathe now. It's less spicy and aggressive than it was initially. This had a lot of bite and bark to it when I first opened it. But man, going back to it now and kind of sort of remembering how spicy it was at first, man, I really like that it has opened up. And it didn't take long. I bought this bottle not even 2 months ago, and it is opened up beautifully. Now it feels way more balanced. And who knows? Maybe it was just something I ate that day. You know, my palate maybe got shot or something, or it was just some spicy stuff going on there, and it just sort of overpowered. But this is cask strength. It's non-chill filtered, but it just lets you know that we're not a one-trick pony. It also lets you know that we have lots of things going on here, and we are going to be beautiful with that cigar. I'm going to go in there for a second sip because that's just the initial sip, and I don't like to make too many judgments on that. Let's get into it. Cheers again. Okay. The things that I got on the nose are right there. The fruitiness, the chocolate, the deep chocolate notes are definitely there. A lot of dark chocolate, but it's got this almond butter. It's got this salted toffee thing going on. There is that leather that I was telling you about. It feels like wise whiskey, old man whiskey. You know, it got some underripe pears, and a little bit of orchard fruits. So not just like the mountain berries and the dark things, but it also has these moments a sparkliness. Ginger is there, certainly. And I feel like the ginger took the place of a lot of the pepper notes, the cayenne pepper notes that I initially got when I first opened up this bottle, which is great. I like things to be a little spicy. I like the heat. I love the heat. But I felt like it was a bit overpowering at first. And now that it has had time to open up, and I encourage you guys to do the same thing if you get this bottle, it is lovely. I'm really liking this. This is my favorite bottle of the day right now. And it's funny because people have been asking me lately when I tell them that I have a YouTube channel, like, what's your favorite whiskey? And my answer is usually the same. It depends. Like I'm a mood drinker. So, if I'm, a certain mood, I might want something aggressive and smoky and peaty. So I'll get me a nice like Bruichladdich or Lafroig or something like that. While other times I just want to go on a wild ride. I want to cowboy up and get some cowboy bourbon or something. But as far as this is concerned, wow, I really like it. I want to take another sip and then kind of, give you my overall thoughts and impressions. So cheers once again. It's just a beautiful dram. It really is. I know I said that this was balanced, but the viscosity on this really, really, really hangs on to the palate. It's juicy, it's oily, it gives you a nice feel. It's not giving me that burn and that hug that I was first getting. This is lower than I think what most people expect from a cask strength. It's not in the 60s. It's, like I said, 52.9% alcohol, but this is just fine by me. And I think that might actually be the perfect proof for like a cigar, because oftentimes when you drink high proof whiskeys with a cigar, your palate just gets shot. It really does. And then you stop losing the like intensity of the flavors that come with a cigar and kind of overpower it, right? But I feel like this would be a perfect pairing. I really do. So for all you whiskey and cigar smokers out there that really like to pair those things together and be with your friends, this is the ideal dram for the moment. I tell you that. I will probably end up getting a backup bottle because dang, I forgot just how good it was. So anyway, so now that it's warming up, you may want to kind of like move a little bit away from the like aggressive smoky stuff, and this is going to be the one for you because it's not really smoky. It's more fruity. It's got a lot of chocolate notes, like I said, but really, really hangs on to that palate, and I think it's going to stand up well to a cigar. So those of you with your sticks, this is the one for you. Me personally, I feel like this speaks to the whiskey connoisseur. I feel 100%. Like that's who this bottle speaks to the most. Again, if you're in the market for a good cigar whiskey, this is it. It's not going to break the bank. Right now, it retails at $99, and I think that honestly, you can't beat that. And I did mention that they are offering a 10% discount. So if you go to their website, I highly encourage you to check them out there. At least you get a little extra off the cost of shipping. So, and it wasn't that expensive from what I remember anyway. But thank you all for stopping by, checking us out. Do all the things that the YouTubers ask you. Support us, subscribe, consider becoming a Patreon. Certainly would mean a lot to me. And we'll catch you on the next one. Here at Whiskey One, it's about the one you enjoy. Cheers.